Okay, so number one, your website must be visually appealing. When a website opens, the visitor makes a split decision to click or not to click. This first impression causes an intermediate value judgment about the perceived worth of the product or the service. A well-organized, visually appealing presentation sends a positive message about your product or service, and it could mean the difference between a sale or non-sale. Visually appealing sites have a balance between content, color, and graphics. There's a unifying theme that unites the content on the page as well as the pages within the site. So as you can see through here, through the Broadmoor properties, it's very visually pleasing. It's branded really well with their logo. It matches identical to all their collateral that they have, both digital and printed. There's a lot of photography that shows what's going on at the Broadmoor and Broadmoor properties. It has easy to read content with large headers. That way when visitors are scanning through the website, they can find what they're looking for by skimming and then read in more detail. It has a very pleasing and easy to read navigation system. All of these components make for a very visually pleasing website. It's also worth noting here that all the colors complement each other. One of the nice things our brains pick up on is soothing complementary colors. And there's a variety of tools on the internet we'll talk about in another episode that'll help you pick a color scheme for your website. It's also worth noting here that if you're going to use additional websites like blogs and forums, that they be branded very similar to your primary website, but have an identity that will let them stand on their own. So as you can see here, the Broadmoor Properties Real Estate blog is branded, same color schemes, even the same background, but it has its own design and its own look and emotion that is complementary to what's going on at the Broadmoor properties, yet it stands very well on its own. Number 2, your website must have useful, current, and concise information. Right out the gate, when somebody lands on your homepage, that information has to be clear and concise in what they're looking for. The way text information is presented, the content, is important since it encourages or discourages visitors' interaction and affects the way the website is found and ranked in the search engines as well. In short, your content is king. It's the most critical component of any website. If you have a simple message, present it simply. If your message is more complex, then break it into organized, manageable pieces. We will dive deeper into that topic next week, but simply tell the broad picture, then use links to give more specific information to interested visitors to follow. 3, your website needs to be easy to find. The beauty of the web is the bane of the web, namely, tons of information resides at your fingertips, both useful and irrelevant. If a user does not have your web address, then your site must be easy to find in the search engines. An example, if you're looking for a dude ranch in Colorado and you don't have the website address, you've got to be able to find it quickly. People are going to type in common words like Colorado Dude Ranch. It's really not any more complicated than that. And if your website is presented properly, the website that they're looking for is going to show up in the search engines very quickly, very easily, and up on top. Here's some key things to help you when you're putting together your content so that you can meet this objective. Let's look at the content. When writing content, make sure you're using language that your visitor will use to search for your site. Organize the content into page or paragraph groupings using keyword phrases and page titles or page headers, like the heading tags. It's real important that your content be in plain English, both for the search engines and for your visitors. Page themes are also important. When linking to subsequent pages, try to stick to a single theme for the product on each page. So when you're linking in deeper, make sure if it says activities that it's going to be about activities and not about much else. Design. Technically sound pages that meet WC3 website design standards incorporate all of the elements that are required to promote page crawling and indexing by the search engines. Now, iControl WebStudio is designed specifically to lay everything out into the best method that a CMS system can give you and still maintain these design standards. Here's another tip. On all your graphic images, make sure that you have the alt tags filled out so that the search engines know what the images are and can index the images as well as your content. External linking. This is pretty key too for the search engines. Not only do you want to link from your site to other complementary sites, but you want complementary sites to link back to you. So here you see Harmel's has resources linking out, which is incredible for their search engine rankings. But you can also see here that the Gunnison Crested Butte Chamber of Commerce has links back to Harmel's, which is also equally important. Getting inbound links to your homepage is actually a crucial element of how your site will perform in the search engines. Or draw new visitors from complementary sites. It's possible that a visitor can hit this particular site not knowing who Harmel's Ranch Resort is, read their information from here, and then link over. These links can be from online directories, such as this one, blogs, or other websites. Links from similarly themed sources, content similarly or loosely related to yours, is better than unrelated websites, especially for the search engines as well as for the visitors landing there. If they're confused when they land on somebody's website about your message, they're probably not going to click through. 4. Your website must be easy to use and navigate. This is one of the biggest issues that we run across before we bring websites over into iControl, is that their links are all over the map. Their navigation's all over the map. They go to places that really don't have any intuitive information about the particular topic of the website. When your site opens up, the user should know the theme and be able to get the information that interests them in a couple of clicks or 5 seconds. It's real simple. If your website's about photography, but when a visitor lands on your website, there's no information there about photography, they're going to be confused and they're going to leave. They're going to leave very quickly. If they get to there and they're looking for something specific, you need to be able to give them a very quick and easy way from all pages to find what they're looking for. Are they looking for public galleries? Are they looking for private galleries? Are they looking for their own photos? What is it that they're actually looking for? But you don't know that right up front, so you need to make sure that your website is laid out in a manner that will give them that information. To accomplish this, the primary site navigation must be easy to see, like we said, organized logically, and must give the visitor command over the site. Give them access to everything they are allowed to have access to. If you leave things out or you bury it on the bottom instead, it's going to make it difficult for them to navigate, and they're not going to want to stick around. Your primary navigation must be located in the same location on all internal pages. A lot of people will throw stuff all over the place, and you really can't find anything because you don't know when to look left, right, top, or bottom for the navigation. Your primary, the main source of your navigation, needs to be at the same place every time. Your secondary navigation, if you want to throw it from the top down to the left, do so, but throw it on the left all the time. If you bounce from the left to the right and from right to the left, from page to page, visitor again is going to get confused and they're going to leave. If you are consistent with your secondary navigation on the left, the very second click that they click on, they'll know that they can look to the left and there's all the information that they need. Their brain will be trained very quickly if your site's laid out consistently. Since there's no internal cyber GPS navigation available for the websites, the internal pages should also be labeled or tagged in such a manner that the user knows where they are in the site at all times. In this particular case, we tell them right here that they're in public galleries. When you're looking at some of the other sites and you click within inside of a particular section of the site, we also let them know where they're at. It stands out. It's different than the rest of the links. It's very important that you let your visitors know where they are, because they're going to be navigating through there and you don't want them to get lost. There should also be no internal dead ends to pages or orphaned pages. In short, the visitor should be able to get anywhere in the site from any page. So always give them the ability to get back to the home or back to wherever they want to go at any given time. It's very important that they can go back and forth without having too many. Actually, you don't want any dead end links. You want to be able to give them the ability to get around easily and efficiently. Number 5, your site needs to be optimized for performance. Your images need to pop and be fast. You need to make sure that they're not directly dumped right from the video from your digital camera. Your site should load quickly. The graphics should be compressed and optimized to facilitate this. Episodes 1, 2, and 3 cover this topic in detail. So if you're struggling with your images, go watch those 3 episodes. I think there's about 40 minutes worth of video on all 3 episodes, and you'll learn a lot from that about your images. All your internal links should be developed according to the WC3 conventions, since they will operate more efficiently and render more quickly in browsers. A good content management system like iControl WebStudio will take care of this for you. So make sure that all your internal links are set up so that it's real easy to navigate around and they meet the standards of the industry. Your site should work in all major browsers and operating platforms. This seems trivial, but you would be surprised at how many websites don't operate on a Mac as well as they do on a PC, or vice versa, or they don't operate in this browser. Browsers like Google Chrome. This is Google Chrome here. Everything should look very identical. Here's Firefox. Granted, there are going to be some differences, but the 6 different combinations that we've shown just here between these 3 browsers and PC and Macs, they're gonna yield a little bit different rendering, but they're going to be relatively the same. There should be no errors in displaying the content or the graphics, and no errors in interactive media or the underlying code. The other thing to take note when you're optimizing your website is multimedia. High volume multimedia, such as video clips, should be compressed and offered to the viewers from a streaming server with a connection speed detection, so that visitors with high-speed connections, such as DSL or broadband, and visitors with dial-up connections will both get pleasing results.
As soon as you drive into the Flying Horse Ranch.
As you can see, this is a pretty large video, and it requires a lot of bandwidth to play this video. This video has been compressed in a manner that is very pleasing to both dial-up and DSL users. And the server that this video is being served from knows how to detect the broadband or the dial-up connection and will deliver the appropriate compressed file. It's just that simple. Everything's got to be fast. If visitors are waiting for stuff to download, they're only going to wait a couple of seconds and they're out of here.